So, Night Swim, a new Blumhouse film starring Wyatt Russell. So the movie's about this family that moves into a new house, and there's a drained swimming pool that they decide to fill up because why not? What would be the harm in that? Turns out it's haunted.
Haunted AF.
The dad was a baseball player that suffered from MS, I believe is what it said.
Multiple sclerosis.
Yeah, so he suffered from MS. His therapist suggested him starting to swim. Of course, the pool, having the spiritual properties it does, starts giving him like his health back essentially, and because of that it needs a sacrifice to grant his wish, and so that's when all the chaos ensues, and then it starts to essentially take the kid's soul, and you find out that it's been doing this for years and years, and then that's kind of where the movie starts off, as you see what you think is the first victim of the pool. Turns out she's like the 105th victim or something like that. What worked for you guys in the movie? I really want to know. Really nothing?
I'm trying to think of some of the redeeming qualities in the movie. Nothing really scared me. I think there was a scene that made me laugh really hard because everybody else jumped.
Oh, was it the scary monster jumping out of the pool, like saying Marco Polo?
Or something like that, where everybody like screamed.
I screamed at that
That
part.
monster was not even scary at all.
The monster was weird.
Not at all.
I mean, they explained it later on.
I thought it was very surprising. But
Like,
You said no, I was surprised by
I
it.
was scared.
the monster was kind of weird at first, and then like
Multiple monsters.
Yeah.
The pool itself is the monster. And
or the water.
The water is the monster. The pool is just the vessel. But the vessel. But yeah, basically the pool is haunted by all the ghosts of everyone. I can't figure out, are they all possessed ghosts pulling people in? Because why didn't the little girl that was killed at the beginning of the movie was a ghost that ended up helping them escape? And
I think it was like a It thing. Like, you know how like It collected like Pennywise collected all the
souls,
all the souls and the bodies and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like kind of like that, where you have like a collection.
Okay.
A collection.
I don't know. I don't think this was a good start for Blumhouse.
And I was excited for this because I was like, oh, this could be like, Are You Afraid of the Dark? That episode, Dead Man's Float. I said, this could be cool. And it was not cool.
You have no fucking idea how not fucking cool that shit is.
We were really excited, hoping it was kind of based on that.
I was like, this is going to be tight. And it was not at all.
It was actually based on a short film as well. I don't remember the name of the short film, but
I think it's called Night Swim.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's. I think the first segment of the movie was actually basically the premise for the short film. But
honestly, just the pool being haunted to me is a stupid idea. It is a stupid idea for a horror movie. It's so dumb. Like, oh, it's a haunted pool. And then one part in that movie when he talks about the pool and that guy that comes over to like clean the pool, he's like, oh yeah, and it's on top of this well and this and that. And then you never see him again. He disappears.
I love that.
Nothing.
I love that guy.
So where did that man go?
I think that the pool cleaner guy was one of the best characters.
That's all we got? Nothing else?
It's
no
better
other
than the
explanation?
damn real estate agent that I couldn't stand.
The Mary Kay lady?
Yes, the Mary
She
Kay,
felt
like
she
the
was
real
gonna sell
estate lady.
Avon.
There was something about her I just did not like.
It's almost like they walked into the wrong set that day.
And then the chicken part, when they're playing in the pool and they're doing the chicken, you know, he like has his friend's son on his back. That was such an awkward moment for me.
It was
I don't know
definitely-
why. So why are you playing chicken with some other? Your child's all in the house missing. Your son just wants to spend time with you, you piece of shit, and you're over here just worried about somebody else's kid. I hate that man.
How you said like the haunted pool thing is stupid.
It is.
When I saw the trailers, I thought that this movie was going to be really, really dumb. I know you guys are going to disagree with. Well, I know you guys do disagree with me. I actually really liked it.
No, you didn't.
I actually really like this
That's
movie.
wild, dude.
I would watch this again.
Okay.
You know, I don't like Wyatt Russell. I watched what was it, the Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier series, and he plays the U.S. agent, which is like a bootleg Captain America, and he becomes such a hated character. You just want to hate him forever.
So you're just pissed off at him now because of that?
I'm like permanently pissed off at him because he's just a dick.
At least he did his job. I'm still pissed off at Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator. Like, he was such a good villain.
Oh yeah.
But I thought Wyatt Russell was Jason Clarke for the first part of that movie. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen The New Pet Cemetery or Everest? He's in those.
Yes.
That guy, the one that plays the main character.
Yes.
I thought that that's who it was, and I really, really liked that actor. So the whole time I was thinking it was him. But either way, I think he did a decent job.
At first, I thought it was Draco Malfoy with a beard.
Really?
When I first saw the previews.
I wish.
So I was thinking about it more. And the only legitimately the only thing I did not like about this movie was the water like actually consuming the people and possessing them, and then like the the daughter that initially died in the movie, you find out that her mom was also possessed by the pool and gave the pool the daughter as like a sacrifice. And because of that, the mom was granted her wish, but she had to like carry the pool water around in her, which is a really weird thing to say out loud. But anytime like the water was pissed off or something, it would start leaking out of their bodies. Like black water would start leaking out of their bodies. I didn't like that. It pulled me out of the movie completely in those scenes.
Yes.
But I love the rest of the movie.
Okay, that's so
I would watch.
interesting.
It's weird for me too. I would watch that movie again, and I was actually thinking about it more. To me, horror movies are more of like a cultural thing, you know, or like a atmosphere kind of thing. And there's something about, like, for example, Jaws, you know, you can watch that with a group of people. It's a little gory, but it's not too bad. It's almost like everyone can watch it. I kind of felt the same way with this one. I feel like I could watch this movie while in a swimming pool, like floating with a bunch of friends. And to me,
Floating with a bunch of
yeah, I
friends.
feel like that would be fun. Like, it just seemed like a fun, scary movie. It didn't scare me. I wasn't like too afraid to go to sleep at night, but I really enjoyed it. I screamed a couple of times. I would do it again. I would watch that happily again.
That is so wild to
It's
me. I
weird.
don't know why I'm so blown away like that. Because I would not watch that movie again. I did not like it. I did not think it was scary. Not enough people died for me. I didn't find it fun.
It was a little slow.
And then the dad being a baseball player and getting hurt and then like sacrificing to get his career back. That is so fucking unoriginal. And it's like, oh, we've never seen this before. Weird.
I do. Do you guys? Okay, what do you guys think about the cat dying?
That made me sad.
It didn't make any sense to me. That was
So why
okay.
would you
It
do
kind of
that?
pissed me off. It's like,
Why
where's
you
the
do
cat?
that?
That was the second thing I didn't like. I take that back. There was
Leave the
two
cat
things I didn't
alone.
like. The cat
It's
would
like,
have been the
well,
sacrifice.
That's
I
a
feel
life
like.
right there. Should be good to go.
Maybe it wasn't
Yeah,
very
you
good.
got your
wish.
cat.
Yeah, that
Soul's a soul.
I felt like that was a little silly.
What was the cat's name again? Mr. Pickles or something?
Cisco. No, not Cisco.
No, it was
Cider.
Cider.
Cider, yeah.
Okay, one part I did like. I said that I didn't like anything, but there was one part in
Let's
that
hear it.
movie that was all right. Do you know that part? You know when his daughter comes in, she's like running to get help, and then she like falls in the glass.
on the glass.
And then the dad comes in.
Yeah.
that part I did like that part.
That was
It was
scary.
very like I
The
didn't know
dad
what was
when
gonna happen.
I-
Smacked the phone out of her hands. Like,
Don't do that!
It was scary.
I will agree. That was probably like the one redeeming scene. in
Yes, that was a
movie.
good scene.
It was a great scene. That scene was
was.
done really well. Like, if the whole movie was like on the edge of our toes like
ass.
that, I would be like on it. But no.
Yeah, yes, Matt, agreed. You said no.
I think we're learning more like what our interest. Like, you guys obviously have very similar interest in movies.
I feel like we do.
Except you don't like the straight up gore porn kind of
No.
stuff, and you. And I do sometimes. Like, I love the Terrifier movies, you know, and I am learning. It's such a weird thing. You find out
Well,
like
to
what
me,
you're
it's
into.
like just different because Saw to me, like, there's no comedy in it for me. I'm just
No.
like, I'm never laugh. For instance, like House of a Thousand Corpses, that's so gory, but that shit is so funny.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's comedy
They're
in it.
very well-rounded
When there's
characters.
no comedy, I'm so uncomfortable.
That was
I
so fun when we
cannot
went to go
watch
see
it.
that.
We did. That was good. That was great.
There's
To see it in theaters?
like when we were talking about with books and stuff,
Do
the
recommend.
character arcs. There's a ton of character arcs in
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, all
I
those
love
kind
that
of movies.
shit.
Yeah, those ones are great.
Those are fun.
But I guess we should move on to the rating system. What do you guys think?
All right.
Oh, let's rate.
All right.
So excited.
First rating of 2023 for
Pew, pew, pew.
Night Swim.
Night Swim. I am going to give it
Oh,
3 bones.
three.
Three.
I thought
Okay.
you were
I'm
gonna give
giving
it
it a
more or
3.
less than that.
I thought about it, and like I said, and I was talking about that one scene, which was kind of redeeming the glass to the hand type thing and all that. I did kind of like that. Everything else is just like, it was a hard watch for me. Like, I'm glad that I like get to see movies like this with you guys, because then it makes it more enjoyable.
Oh, we had
yeah.
so much fun watching that movie. That was
We-
a blast.
I'm
It
glad-
was fun.
Maybe that's why I enjoyed it so much. I was just having a really good time.
Maybe if you didn't go with us, you wouldn't like it as
yeah,
much.
that might have been it.
We,
I don't know.
we talked so much shit during that movie.
We did. It was funny though.
Need us not forget the dad going, "Is he okay?
Oh, yeah. Are you okay?
Is he okay?" God, there was a part at the end. The dad stops being possessed, and then the kid starts getting possessed, and the dad's like coming to, and he just looks at the kid and goes, "Is he okay?"
Okay.
You get the best barrels ever, dude.
I would
Keanu.
rate the movie a 7.5.
7 and a fucking half.
Wow.
I really liked
No
that
way.
movie. I thought it was fun. It like the only thing I didn't like was the water pouring out of the face thing, but I just thought it was a really fun movie. I didn't think it was confusing at all, except for the cat. Everything else made sense. And when I say it made sense, I didn't say it like made sense it was the best movie ever, but I definitely was able to follow along with all of it.
Okay.
And
That's fair.
like, I feel like there's room to add a sequel in there,
A
possibly.
fucking sequel.
Yeah, I feel like
this
I would
girl
go
right
see
now.
it.
I mean, the pool gets filled at the end. So what, they're gonna find a puddle of mud and it's gonna take everybody away?
I guarantee someone else in that neighborhood has
We're
a pool.
just gonna drill it out and build a new pool.
What would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it 1 bone. 1 bone
One.
because there was one scene in that movie I liked. And I was stoned for the first half. So that made it great until I wasn't anymore. And then I was like, wow, this movie is
And you were
trash,
just
you guys.
bummed.
Fuck. 1 bone.
I will say there was a point where you kind of like dulled down a little bit.
Yeah, I said, what is this?
It was right at the climax of the movie too.
Really quick, I hated this movie more than I hated It's a Wonderful Knife.
Really?
That's how much I hated this movie.
Oh my God. I thought that movie was so bad.
That movie was so bad. It's like, this movie was that bad to me.
You're saying it's worse.
Maybe
though.
I need to watch it again or something.
I think that you do.
I don't know.
I think you should.
I want to like hold on to the little, like the bit of hope I have, you know?
Actually, I want you.
Just keep my
I just want you.
positivity.
Yeah, I want you to remember it
wanna
as a
be
7.5,
happy.
dude. You remember it as a 7.5. You deserve that.
So that gives us a rating of a 3.83 start the year off.
Well, listen,
Everyone's
that's
gonna
my
forget
thought.
about that movie by summertime, so it's
I'm
okay.
not. I'm gonna watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again.
I'm gonna invite people over and sit in swimming
Well-
pools. So, since we're talking about drownings and scary bodies of water, basically, have you guys heard of the actress Natalie Wood?
Yes.
You've heard of her?
Yep.
Okay.
Would.
So, Natalie Wood, for those of you who do not know, she was in Miracle on 34th Street, Rebel Without a Cause, West Side Story, the original one. She was like the biggest actress at the time. So, Natalie Wood, when she was a little kid and like accidentally almost drowned in water and broke her wrist, so she couldn't like swim.
Oh, shit.
Apparently her wrist was broken to the point where like her mom never got it fixed, and it was like deformed, so she wore bracelets and stuff to like hide that. Super sad. She was terrified of water after that, to the point where I guess she was really afraid to wash her own hair, and she never learned how to swim. It was just something she stayed away from water. She ended up marrying Robert Wagner, which was also a huge actor at the time. I think in Heart to Heart, it was some TV show. They were a Hollywood power couple. It was a big deal. Ended up being a really toxic relationship. They divorced. She married somebody else. They divorced. She got back with him. Apparently it was on and off fighting and arguing and stuff like that. She was doing a movie with Christopher Walken, and apparently hers and his on screen or off screen romance was like kind of getting a little heated. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you seen Christopher Walken from back then? No? Yes? I don't think he's super attractive, but like, look at him when he was younger. Like, he's decent.
He's not ugly.
No, not ugly at all.
No, he's not ugly.
Him and Sleepy Hollow, though, I gotta say.
He's intense in that movie.
Oh, the sharp teeth, I'm into it. Anyway, so to get back to reality.
You're into the sharp teeth. That's
Yeah,
very
there's
interesting.
something about it. So anyway,
Sharp teeth. Hoo ha ha.
Robert Wagner, being a very jealous man, he heard about this, and him and Natalie both got to a point where they were going on a couple, like a 3-day cruise around Thanksgiving time. They invited Christopher Walken to go with them on the cruise. And him and Robert Wagner weren't really like friends. He was just working with Natalie Wood at the time. So you can kind of see where this is going.
I
you know?
did. That's weird.
Yeah, it's a little, I mean, first night that they're on the cruise, apparently everything's fine for a little bit. And then Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood get into such a heated argument that it makes Christopher Walken like leave the room. And keep in mind, there's only 4 people on this boat: Natalie Wood, Robert Wagner, Christopher Walken, and the captain. So they get into such a big fight that the captain actually takes Natalie Wood on the dinghy. I knew you guys were gonna laugh. At that.
Wood on the dinghy.
He puts her on the dinghy.
He puts her on the dinghy. Well, actually, that's kind of where this is going. So he puts her on the dinghy, and then they sail back to Catalina Island. Actually, it's called Avalon. I don't know if they're the same island or not. But he takes her back to shore. And he tells the police later on that they actually stayed on the boat that night. He didn't know the police had evidence showing that he took her back on shore. And not only that, but they stayed in the same hotel room drinking wine together, which he ended up confessing, like, yeah, that happened, but I'm very protective over her. And like, her and I have a very special relationship, and I just want to make sure she was safe. But at the same time, I just got a weird vibe from it. Something
I don't
about
like
this.
that.
But it kind of does come out a little bit later that this captain is a little bit infatuated with her.
You killed her, didn't you?
So, well, not only is she on this boat, like, she's this beautiful young actress, she's on a boat with 3 men that are all very I would say obsessed with her almost.
You know what? What did she do for all of them to be in love with her?
No, I mean, she definitely wasn't. I mean, she was flirting, quite a bit with Christopher Walken.
Yeah, you were.
I have no idea what happened.
hoe.
Nah, hey, come on, guys.
That's not unsolicited.
That's not where this is
Let's
going.
be for real.
Anyway, the next day, they go back to the ship. They all talk. They go on to shore. Everything's okay. They go to dinner. During dinner, Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood start flirting pretty heavily, like to the point where it actually like causes kind of a heated argument. But it's claimed that they were discussing political stuff when it got heated. And from there, the conversation went back to the ship. But I was kind of thinking about it. Have you guys read or seen The Great Gatsby?
I
Yes.
love that book.
Thank you.
And I love that movie.
Thank you. I love the movie
love
too.
them both.
I think the movie's fantastic. And
The
a lot of
movie's
people,
great.
A lot of people don't like the movie. I
enjoyed
love
the
that
I'm
movie.
upset by that because that movie
I've
was
watched it a few
great.
They did
times.
such a good job.
They did great.
So you know the scene when finally Jay and Tom Buchanan meet and are discussing like kind of like class oriented stuff, like political discussion, and then it eventually goes into the discussion about like, I love Daisy. No, she doesn't love you, she loves me, that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's exactly how I feel this played out at dinner. Maybe not necessarily like at dinner, but when they get back to the ship, because they are discussing this on the dinghy when they get back onto the ship. Apparently nothing happened, but then it comes out later on that Robert Wagner like broke a wine bottle and screamed at Christopher Walken, "What, are you trying to fuck my wife?"
The latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife.
Oh.
So you knew it was heated, but apparently Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner said that never happened. And then later on it came out that it did.
What the f-
Or that night when there was a big argument, apparently Christopher Walken went back in his estate room or his room. The captain went back to his quarters, and then it was just Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood. Robert Wagner claims they got into a fight and just went their separate ways. And that was it until the next morning when they found her floating in the ocean. She was still in her nightgown, her socks, and she had a jacket on. So it's not like she was trying to go swimming. This girl wouldn't go swimming, middle of the night. They had been drinking all night. I will say that. And people do dumb things when they're drinking. Mm-hmm. But what Robert Wagner thinks happened is that she tried to get in the dinghy and must have slipped and hit her head. But he also lied about the fight that happened the night before. He lied about, initially he said that he wasn't with her, and then he was with her out on the boat, like out on the outside of the boat. Christopher Walken apparently didn't, like the last time he saw them was when they were inside the boat, but then later on he claimed that he saw them outside the boat. Even the captain lied about like where everything was. So it's like, what happened to Natalie?
what is this like?
No one, to this day, they don't know what happened. But
All three of them.
they just reopened the case too after however many years.
Yes.
Her sister Lana has been on this like obsessively since then.
I would be
And
too.
she's been finding Robert and like trying to question him and interview him.
Why won't you speak to the detectives? They're super guys.
She doesn't think that he actually like meant to kill Natalie, but he thinks that he accidentally killed Natalie and like covered it up. Which,
oops.
I do believe that. I don't think that this girl would have been so pissed off she would have like tried to get in the dinghy and go back, like because she didn't know how to handle the dinghy. She would always have someone else do it for her. He had this big thing, like, I think she must have slipped and tried to get in, and this happened, and she must have bumped her head. But like his his statement, like thinking this happened was so spot on, if that makes sense. It's almost kind of like O.J. Simpson's book, how if I would have done it, or how,
you push her hard.
if I did it. Yeah, like sure, dude. I feel like he did it. There's so many inconsistencies with everybody's story. But when you think about it, you have celebrities who are drinking, adding the fact that they're all infatuated with the same girl. It's just a recipe for disaster. And the poor girl, unfortunately, suffered the consequences of that. I will
be following that case.
I watched a whole documentary about it a couple years ago, and it was super fascinating. Like I just told the Cliff Notes version, but there's so many inconsistencies in the story.
That is wild.
It's weird when you think about Christopher Walken like being there during a murder.
Yeah.
We wouldn't think of that with that guy.
Christopher.
Yeah. No more cowbell that night.
No, more cowbell.
More cowbell.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
We're going to do some news right now for you guys.
Noosh.
Noosh.
This is our newest segment. We're
Our
going to talk about some news
newest-
now that the strikes are over and everything like that. We can actually talk about new things and not have to worry about any backlash, anything like that. So we're really excited about this new segment. We're going to cover a little bit of everything from books, movies, video games, TV shows, conspiracies, everything that's in the news that we want to talk about. Just something fucking fun and going with it. And I'm going to start with the first thing in my thing. I'm kind of excited about this. The first new Dead by Daylight character has been announced. He's a survivor. Those who know about it, it's Alan Wake, which is from the games. What are you guys whispering about?
I just said you're very good at projecting.
Whoa, dude.
Oh. I'm sitting there like...
I was complimenting you.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. All right, so the newest survivor is Alan Wake, who is the protagonist in the Alan Wake games. He is a book writer whose book stories start to come true, and he gets like pulled into this reality. I personally never played the games. The second one won a shit ton of awards this year at the VGAs. It looks solid. I actually do want to play it. They haven't really given us too much information about the character yet on his playability and what he does. Other than I assume that there's going to be some kind of thing with him using a flashlight to fuck off the killer or something like that, I would assume. We should see a new killer. There's a rumor that this is actually, if this rumor is true, we could be getting Art the Clown from the Terrifier series.
Oh, no shit.
Tight.
And that could be terrifying.
That'd be so bloody. So bloody. Get sawed in half left and right.
I'm curious if this is going to be true. I mean, there's people already complain that there's too many stealth enemies in this game already. So, and Art's silent, so he has to be stealthy. So,
I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about that. I know one in particular, Adam. It's my brother.
Adam. All right, my little bookworms. So in this May, Stephen King is releasing a book called You Like It Darker, and it's 12 short stories, and I'm super excited about it. One of those stories is included in that 12 is called Rattlesnakes, and it is a sequel to Cujo.
What?
So I am excited to see what that's about. And also 12 stories, so it's like 12 tales. I'm excited about that. A Cujo sequel, May 21st, 2024. So there's not a lot of like information, but there is like a little blurb. I can actually, maybe we can add a link. You can read like the first like few pages of Rattlesnake if you're interested in that.
Yeah, send me a link to that.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the bottom part.
Yeah.
sounds good. I don't know how to read, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun.
Matt can audiobook it.
Honestly, if it's audiobooked, I'll listen to the hell out of that.
Anything else with the books?
That's it for me.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So, news-wise, the Epstein list just got released, and I'm so excited to read it. Well, I'm not excited because it's really sad. It's like when you actually get down to
Just
brass
everybody's
tacks,
on it.
It's really sad. But I'm going to go ahead and read off some of the more notable names, and then if you watch on either this side or this side, I haven't decided yet, I'm going to give the full list of names, basically, so just watch for those.
Wait. Before you're reading, can we make guesses?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Well, besides the obvious that there was Stephen Hawking
Yeah.
on the list, and I think Bill Clinton.
Oh, obviously. Everyone knew that before the list was even released.
All right, so I want to try guessing.
You get two guesses, and you get two guesses.
Is there A-list celebrities on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Bill Cosby.
No.
I wouldn't
I
doubt
don't, think he
it.
was, I don't think he was invited. Were there any comedians?
Yes, there was.
Oh.
There was.
Big comedian. Oh, I don't want to say this because I don't want to ruin his name. Jim Carrey.
No, he's not on the list.
Will Smith.
No.
I thought he would be for sure on the
No?
list. He's not on the list.
Damn it.
I thought for sure he'd be on the list.
The Rock.
No.
No.
Damn it.
All right, you got one more guess.
Oh.
He's an actor and a comedian, if it makes you
Kevin
feel
Hart.
better.
No, I'm going to go a
No.
different way. I'm going to say Michael Bay.
No, but I would expect him to be on it, to be honest with you.
Do you have any guesses? God?
I just said Jimmy Kimmel because it was something that came up on a sports podcast that I
Oh.
watched. So I was just making a joke. Tom Hanks.
I feel like
Tom Hanks might be on that
He was
list.
during
he's not
all
on
that-
this list, but I remember something about him being on a list.
Yeah, that was during all the
Michael
QAnon
Jackson.
stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Was Michael Jackson on that list?
Michael Jackson is on the list. You got one.
Michael Jackson's on the list.
I knew it.
According to, because they got a lot of the information that they have from one of the girls that worked on the island very closely with Epstein and like gave him his massages and stuff like that. She actually said that Michael Jackson never like asked her. I mean, a lot of it was younger girls and stuff, but she said that she never saw him do anything like that.
I want to believe that's true.
I believe that
because I love Michael.
Well, because
Jackson.
there's a lot of stuff that she says that like is very like, why would she make this up? I guess there's a reason, like you can get paid for it and stuff like that. But I believe that Michael Jackson didn't do anything. Like
I
that.
believe that too.
Do you have another guess? Do you have another guess?
Oh,
Because I'm about to read this.
Is it a comedian and
Quick,
actor?
one more.
younger comedian that's older
He's a comedian and
now.
actor.
Is he older or younger?
I would
Like
say
that
he's
new era comedy or like old
no,
era
he's
comedy?
old era comedy, like early 2000s, late 90s.
Early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah.
Oh God, Dane Cook.
That's what I was
No,
thinking.
not
too.
Dane Cook.
Okay, I used up my guesses. Go ahead.
You got any more?
Nah,
Okay. So
I got one.
Good job.
all right, so go ahead. The list is going to be up as soon as I'm done reading the more notable names that you guys would know. So Prince Andrew of Great Britain, obviously everyone knew that. Bill Clinton, because of course he was. Apparently, according to the girl, she said that he likes him young.
I believe that.
I believe that 100%.
His wife probably does too.
Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, David Copperfield, which actually really surprised me.
David Copperfield.
Copperfield.
Apparently was very close with Epstein and was there quite a bit. And this girl says a lot of stuff about David Copperfield. So heads up about that one.
Stop.
This one, okay. This makes me really, really sad, but I'm not surprised. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep.
No, my
Which
heart.
again, when you think about it, I'm not surprised at all.
Oh yeah, especially how young he looks as women.
Yeah, I used to really like him, and I can't now. But
That's really upsetting.
I still love Titanic. Al Gore, former U.S. president, vice president. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
This is the internet's favorite one right now. Stephen Hawking, which you've seen all those.
Yes, Steven.
He's gone.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Steven. Shame on you.
Yeah, apparally he really enjoyed.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he really enjoyed his time there.
Little freak
He's
nasty.
probably like, he's probably sitting there like, oh hey, oh yes, oh yes.
Michael Jackson, Marvin Minsky, Kevin Spacey, which that one doesn't really surprise me anymore.
I still fucking Kevin
This
Spacey.
one's pretty wild. George Lucas is on the list.
George Lucas
is on the list, but I didn't see any, like the girl didn't make any statements about George Lucas at all that I saw. But yes, he is on the list.
Ooh,
The tea right now.
Kate Blanchett,
I can see that.
Naomi Campbell.
Stop.
Yep. Bruce Willis.
Bruce?
Well, he doesn't remember.
He
now.
doesn't remember now. No. Bruce Willis, Cameron Diaz.
What?
Yes. So the comedian was Chris Tucker.
I would have never guessed.
I know
Chris
you weren't in
Tucker.
any close direction. You were getting there, but
No.
yeah, Chris Tucker was on the list.
Oh my God.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay.
Who are the couple of other ones? There was some others in there. Or I mean, there's a long list. Like I said, it's going up, but those are the more notable name ones. A lot of them, I have no idea who these people are. They're obviously rich people. You know what I mean?
Disgusting, filthy rich people.
Well, some of these
rich people do
people-
some weird shit.
Some of
dude.
these people I do genuinely believe like went there. It's like this exclusive island that they're like told like, oh yeah, it's like the most famous and rich people are allowed to go on this island. You know, people went there thinking they were going to like a nice island retreat when other people went there knowing like how to ask the right
And
questions.
they're like, also, you can smash kids here.
Exactly.
And we won't tell anybody.
Unless you do something to piss us off that we got
And
it
then
on
we're gonna
video.
tell.
Yeah. So that's
We'll blackmail you.
I'm so surprised by some of those and like what was said about them. Obviously, everyone's so surprised by Stephen Hawking, but like he's still a person that can make choices, and he made a bad one. If all of that is true, obviously he can't talk and defend himself. He couldn't talk to begin with. But yeah, so that's the Epstein list that just got released, and I mean, finally, we've been waiting for this for such a long time.
I think that wraps up our first episode of 2024. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And of course, hit the reminder thing so you guys get notifications for any videos, clips, or anything that we post. And don't forget to follow our Instagram as well. Pretty soon we will be doing giveaways and things like that. So please stay tuned.
We're gonna have a lot
If
more.
you
for
want
you
some
guys.
free shit,
Do it. Don't
Do
forget
it.
to follow Ridge Gaming as well.
Now.
Now.
No.